Hi everybody, it's PJ, and I wanted to talk to you about a couple things. First off, it's been 5 years today since Jeff passed away. I think it was really telling that the day before this, I ended up with that amazing OBE, number one. But as you know, I've been absent from YouTube off and on recently, and I told you there's a lot going on. And what happened was my assistant Kimmy's husband passed away. He passed away on the 20th, the day before my birthday, and then today, or yesterday, was the day I had the OBE, and then today is his 5-year anniversary of death, of when he passed over. And it feels, on top of it, my mom's in the hospital for breathing issues. So it feels very much like around my birthday, there is this life and death kind of, I don't know, coincidence, call it. But around my birthday, a lot of people that I'm close to, I know a lot of Aries, but I also have lost a lot of people around my birthday. I don't know what that is, but it's there. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about is, like, when you lose somebody, especially if it's not like sudden, because that's a different feeling, but when you lose somebody to illness and you walk that path with them, you're walking the path for them to cross over. It's so hard for you to accept the things that you have to accept along the way. But once you do, it makes it so much easier to turn the energy back to them. And that's the whole point. I mean, it's really not happening to you. It is happening to them, and you're just like the bystander. But what I noticed about, like, with me and Jeff's kids and my kids, it's almost like, especially like Jeff's kids, because they were with me every day at the hospital, like every day. We didn't leave his side until the day he finally decided to pass over. But and that's because he wouldn't leave while we were there. The minute the three of us left the room, like, he decided to go. It was so amazing, because the nurses told us that, like, he was hanging on. But it almost feels to me like we've been through a, like, tornado, but we're still alive. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're the living out of the tornado. Not everybody made it out, type thing. That's how it feels. It feels like this common denominator has made you survivors of watching this happen to somebody, having your heart torn out. And now it's a good, dear person in my life who is now a part of that sisterhood, that brotherhood of being survivors. And there's so many emotions that go with that. I can't even tell you. Like, just part of you wants to go with. You just want to give up and let go and go with. And part of you wants to honor them in the best way you can. But then when you're alone and the feeling, the loss, the widowhood, the parentless of it really is intense, and it never goes away. And I always say this, I don't think that grief is something you ever get rid of. I don't care if you have the moment that you have that racking pain of loss, it doesn't go away. It's like a big wave. This is what I always tell people that call me about, like, parents or children or somebody they lost. This is the way I describe grief in my way. it's like a wave, like you're on a shore alone, and this wave comes over you, and you don't know what's gonna create the wave. It could be that a song comes on. That was a big trigger for me. Whatever triggers the wave, sometimes it just comes up and it's gentle and it tickles our toes and tears up our eyes, but we, hold it together. We ride that out gracefully. And then other times it's literally like it comes up and sucks you in and takes you out to sea and beats you against the sharp rocks, and then it takes you back up to the shore and dumps you out battered and bruised. And so I don't think it ever goes away. I just think we get better at riding those waves, at taking those waves. And so over the course of time, people assume that you're all better, that you're better, that that's not affecting you anymore. But it never, I don't think it ever, I don't care how many shrinks you go to, I don't care, it's still there. That depth of longing and wanting that person to be by your side in this physical world just doesn't go away. And you just have to, part of that is like exactly what love is. It's like this need, like love has depths that you don't even know is there until it's gone, until you have to live without that daily input of comfort and requited requited emotion, like that you get it back from them. And that loss is so deep in your bones. It's so guttural. But we cover it because we have to go on. We're the survivors of the hurricane. We're the survivors of the tsunami. And so all you can do is manage to walk life as honorable as you can and almost behave as though they're still there, seeing you, watching you, being with you, because anything less than that is, for me, is like this torn open wound. And so my point is when you come across somebody who has lost somebody, just know that that's never going to leave them. That's never going to leave you. If you've lost somebody, that's never going to leave you. All that happens is you get really better. I think about Jeff every day of my life, and so does his kids. There's not a day goes by that he isn't in my mind. Now, other people, like I had a friend, Barry, he was a gay friend of mine. He was my roommate when I was young growing up, and he passed away from AIDS, like way when AIDS just started. He moved to San Francisco and was gone in a year. And yes, do I think about him now and then? Yes, I do, but not every single day. I'm talking about the person, whether it's your husband, your wife, your child, that person that you thought was there just for you, your father, your mother. That's the part that never goes away. That no matter what happens in your life, they're a thought in your mind. They're never that far from your mind. And I think that that's why I can travel and see Jeff, is because he is still so ingrained in me that that connection never left. And I believe a lot of people have that. I think a lot of people don't want to know that or see that. They're afraid of it. So honestly, being a widower or a widow, it's a sisterhood, it's a brotherhood. You've gone through the tsunami, and for whatever reason, you're surviving. And you have to survive. That's how you honor them, is surviving through everything. And that you have to look at that loss, that pain in your life, as the equal of the pleasure that you had with them. Do you understand what I mean? It's like a balance. Yep. I'm lucky. I'm so lucky. So many people I know never find a person that they love that much and that loves them back. Like, and I think about that a lot. Like, I've had 2 really great loves. I was dead in love with my husband. At 17 years old when I met him, he was everything. My children, he's the father of my children. I still love Wolf. I couldn't be with him or live with him or anything, but I still love him. But I was so in love with him, and I know what that's like. I know what that felt like to be so in love. And there's some people that live their whole life that don't have that. And then when it came to Jeff, he was my, I hate the word soulmate, but he really was my soulmate. He was like the other me. And the love we had there was so intense, so ridiculous, so crazy-headed that I'm so lucky, because some people never get to feel that kind of love, and if they do, it's not given back, or they you know, to have that, to know that I had that not once but twice in my life. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. So I have to look at things that way in order to get through my crazy days and my nuttiness, and to still feel and have a happy heart. But I'm never far away from the fact that I am a survivor of an emotional tsunami, and that it doesn't take much for that tsunami to come up again. Doesn't take much. And to my new sister, who I love so much, I love this person, such grace. And to her, believe it or not, I wish you the same. I wish that now I don't wish you to not feel these emotions, because they're precious. As hard as they are, they're so precious, and they are the measure of our love. And it's so scary, and it's so awful, and it's so wonderful, and it's so amazing, and it doesn't die. And I wrote that to her. I said, these are the deep, dark depths of love, and they never die. That never dies. So I'm going to survive, and I'm going to carry Jeff with me and take the glimpses I get, and know that we'll be together again. And that is huge, warm comfort for me. Some people it might not be, but for me it is. And I feel like I might understand that side of things a little more. Not just because I went through it, but I went through it, and I'm still open to everything else that comes my way. I stay open, even to the point where, you know, I've had warnings. Don't do it because, you know, these tricksters come through and all this. I don't care. Because if closing that door means not seeing Jeff, I don't care. I'll fight that and find him. And that's how I feel. And I just thought maybe it's a little bit more understanding of like widowhood and what it's like if you've never lost somebody that close. I'm grateful for you, and I'm glad that you never felt that, but everybody loses somebody one day that close. And when you do, just know that the love and connection between you just doesn't ever go away. And neither does the pain of them not being beside you every day. But we get much better at riding out those waves. That's all I got. I love you guys.